Evan, and welcome to the Star Wars The Last Jedi trailer official breakdown video. Now, this isn't a normal video, aka I'm not gaming, I'm just taking a look at this trailer because I'm a big Star Wars fan. Not so much of the new canon, like this movie, and since Disney has gotten its fingers in it, but I will still go and see this movie, and I still appreciate Star Wars, I guess, for what it is. But I'm one of those old school fans. This dropped earlier, and I watched it live during, I think, Bears versus Vikings. So I watched that on ESPN earlier when it dropped, and we'll just be analyzing this. And hold on, I'm going to go theater mode here, so that you guys have a better view. Alright, so I'm going to just begin with this first shot here. This looks like to me, and I can see first off, there's something on the belt, and it's a wide belt. This is Kylo Ren. This is Kylo Ren, and he is at a First Order base. And what the leaks have been pointing out as of late is that this base is on Crate, or this is the Mega Super Star Destroyer. Actually, the Mega class Super Star Destroyer, known as the Supremacy, which Snoke is on and the rest of the First Order. We basically see Kylo Ren here, just overlooking military forces, walkers, and looks like upgraded AT-STs. You can see older, I think, upgraded versions of the AT-ATs over here. And we're going to continue. This looks like a production facility. It could just be on a planet.
When I found you, I saw raw.
Alright. This is Snoke talking, and I'll get back to that. Right here we see the new walkers, the ATM-6, I believe. I'm going to check. Yep. ATM-6. Now, wait. Or was it? Hold on. Jeez. ATM-6. I believe that's what this is. Yeah, ATM-6. So it's the Mega Caliber Walker. We see that there, and we see an Upsilon class shuttle. And we are on Crate. Now, I believe there's a Rebel base on Crate as seen in, well, what's going to be seen in the Star Wars comics from Marvel here soon. We see an upgrade variant of the AT-AT Walker, the all-terrain armored transport walker there. And it really shows the scale here between an AT-M6 and the AT-AT. Alright, here is Kylo Ren. No doubt about who that is. Leading, it looks like First Order snow troopers. Or hazard environment troopers from the looks of it. Just from the packs. That one has a black pauldron, and these ones this has a white pauldron over here. So whatever's going on is going on here, and it looks like they are on Crate. It looks like it could be Crate, but you see a lot of kind of volcanic kind of activity. It's what you'd see kind of on Battlefront's Solist map. And they're walking in. There might be something, they're looking for something. I believe that I think the First Order will go to Crate. By accident, they'll find the Resistance.
And beyond that,
Alright, this shot right here. We see Kylo Ren's lightsaber. From what I remember, this looks either like a new lightsaber, because I believe the older saber had more of a metal kind of finish. It had a more glossy finish to it. This has more of a matte finish, and everything looks kind of new-like. We also see here, these are 2 Praetorian guards, which in the leaks that people have gotten shows that, tells us that Kylo will be training with these Praetorian guards of Snoke's. And that seems to be correct.
something truly special.
Alright, we see Rey here with her lightsaber. Nothing too special by this scene. They're on Octu. Right here we see the Lucasfilm logo. Alright, right here is a panning shot above the island on Octu. Alright. Right here we see Luke Skywalker, and we see Rey. I believe this is, this happens right when the movie begins. Rey is handing the lightsaber over to Luke. Yeah, so there you go. This is a kind of a neat little detail. Luke's hand, it has the blaster shot in it from Star Wars Episode 6, Return of the Jedi, on the sail barge. So that's a cool little detail that they added in. And hopefully, which will be the next scene, we'll see why this is like this. Or what I believe. So Rey is handing the saber back, and Luke is reluctantly, it looks like, taking it. He's kind of shaking, like, should I take this? Should I get back into this fray?
Inside me has always been.
As you see Luke here, he's holding it, and he's like, I don't know what he's thinking, but my best guess is it's only a matter of time before this all comes back to me. So alright, this is an interesting scene. Is that tree, which we saw during the early production photos of The Last Jedi. And apparently with the Star Wars land at coming up at Disney World, apparently there will be Force ghosts or Force spirits or whatever you want to call them. There'll be kids will go in there, or adults or whatever. They'll go into this tree, and they'll hear them talking to you. So I believe that this movie will have the have voiceovers, probably from, if I were to guess, Frank Oz. He was, I I believe he was on Pinewood for something during this production. Stephen Stanton, or I think Ewan McGregor, for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Nothing has been confirmed, but Ewan was at D23. And Stephen Stanton voiced the old Ben Kenobi in Star Wars Rebels, so he's always kind of open there. They can easily just get I don't know what you'd say, a voice clip while they're recording Rebels. They can just get it and just like, there you go, and just send it off to Pinewood. Email a voice clip. So that's not unlikely. And Hayden Christensen. Now, Hayden Christensen, this is because I was at Star Wars Celebration in Orlando. I believe his appearance at Star Wars Celebration, which he hasn't been at in years, that can't just mean anything. I honestly, and I'm going to say this, I'm 80% sure, there's still that 20% in doubt in my mind, that Hayden has either a voice role in the movie or an actual acting role. We have nothing to yet confirm this, but Hayden Christensen, I remember, I don't know, maybe a year ago, that he was going through some sort of training to get back in shape for something. So that leads credence to the back in shape role and physical role. And then there's also, he could just be a voice. Because Christensen, he's been away from cinema and Hollywood for a pretty good while. So at Celebration, he said that Star Wars was still a big part of his life and still is. Either that, I believe that has an effect with this movie. I believe that he is in some way involved or related to the project. And I will be surprised if he's not in this movie in some form or another. Anyway, Rey will go in there and talk to the spirits of Kenobi, Yoda, and Anakin Skywalker. And I believe Luke will meditate in the tree, if that is correct. That's my assumption.
But now it's awake.
Alright, this is an interesting shot. This could be really anything, except it looks as though that might be, there's multiple different angles you can look at this, I believe. This is either inside of the tree, and we've had that Journal of the Whills book. Now, this right here, and to me this looks like a book that is kind of put onto a ledge in the tree. Like right here. And you see a shadow overcasting it. I believe that is the Journal of the Whills. And it is there. And that light is just a crack down. I don't think this is, and as far as I know, this is not a platform or anything like that somebody can just walk on, like right down there. I believe that this is just the book. It has some things on top of it, probably to keep it balanced. And this is inside the tree. And it looks like it. This looks like wood. It looks like it would fit the tree well. So when Rey probably goes, and that will be the next scene here, right here. When she goes to try and read the book, I think Luke will, and as far as I'm aware, that's the Journal of the Whills. And Star Wars Theory did a video on this, talking about the Journal of the Whills and Snoke. I highly recommend that you'd watch it. gave me some insight. But yeah, I think Luke will refuse to train Rey. I honestly believe he will refuse. That he doesn't want to get involved with this conflict anymore, and he's just going off. So Rey, I think, goes to the tree and tries to get the journal, the wills, and by then it's, once she tries to get it, I believe that's when the Force spirits will come to her. But yeah, I believe that this is just inside of the tree.
And I need help.
This is Rey just training, and we've seen this in the teaser for the trailer. Thank you. That. Now, this is some interesting dialogue. This is Rey cracking the ground. And Luke is worried here. He looks very concerned.
I've seen this raw strength only once.
Now, I don't think people are paying very much attention to this. Where Luke is here. I can't tell exactly what that is. It looks like two circles. Kind of a mark there. Well, I mean, it is two circles, but yeah. It's some sort of symbol. It might be the wills. The symbol of the wills. But Luke is very hesitant here.
This raw strength only once before.
Now, this is kind of an interesting shot.
Too scared.
This is Luke escaping, I think, his burned down Jedi temple. I could be wrong. This could be on a different planet during the events of the movie. But as far as I'm aware, this is during Kylo Ren's turn to the dark side. His betrayal of his family and of Luke Skywalker.
Hear me enough then.
And you see here, actually, yeah, that would play in well. If Luke is in a hut over here, probably away from the main temple, maybe to check on something, and Kylo like put a bomb or something over here, and he went to go burn down and kill the other Jedi and students Luke had. That would make sense. If Luke tried to distance himself and tried to get rid of him before he goes for the temple, and by the time Luke regains consciousness, he sees this, and he drops to his knees beside R2. At what Ben has done to the Jedi.
It does now.
So Luke is scared of Rey. He's scared of the power that she holds. And coming from the old EU, I won't harp on this too much. Luke never has jumped at me to be scared of anything. Luke has always been a give it your all kind of person, and after you give it your all and you didn't succeed, then he will surrender. He doesn't seem the person who would give up. But again, I won't harp on it. So Luke is refusing to train Rey, and that goes back to the thing later where she will probably go off on her own and leave. So this will be interesting, I believe. Alright, this is interesting. I think Kylo Ren here is going up a turbo lift to Snoke's chambers here. That, or he's coming down from it. And you'll see here. Now, alright. First we see right here. This is before, I think, no. Never mind. Ah. We just see him staring at the mask, and this is what happens.
Let the past die.
Alright. That's going to be something interesting. See if I can get it in better focus. Right here. Now, and I'll come back to this, but this was not seen on any of the promotional material, not on any action figures, not any pre-release material, not even in any leaks or by Forbes or Empire or any of those magazines. So this is new. And I'm wondering what it could be. It looks kind of like a patch, but at the same time, it might be something completely different.
Past die.
And right here, right there, we see him smash his helmet. And we see on the teaser trailer that was shown off at Celebration that in one frame his helmet was smashed. Kylo's helmet was shattered and broken into pieces. I think that's how this gets like this. I think he's mad, and why he's doing this, he's mad at himself. He's angry. And I believe this, I think this might be either failure for losing Starkiller Base, grief for killing his father and what he's done to his family, or it could just be because, and this is what I'm thinking, this is most likely what this is just what I'm thinking. I believe he is mad because he's not as powerful as he should be and what he strives to be. So I believe that this scene would take place after his training with the Praetorian Guards. I think he would lose against them, and Snoke's disappointed, and he's disappointed in himself that he cannot give it his all. And thus, we'll go to the next scene. Alright, right here is interesting. This looks like an updated version of the Nebulon B medical frigate. And that looks like an upgraded version of the Rebel transport. I forget its name off the top of my head. It's gonna bug me. And right here we see the engines of the Radis. Alright. So we see here Kylo flanked by 2 wingmen, as per standard. We also see 2 kind of Corvettes over here. These are, it looks like, Special Forces TIE fighters. So he's coming in with big guns, and he's packing heat as his wingmen. So that's interesting. I kind of expected with him. I kind of expected just regular TIE fighters, because I thought that his ship alone could be able to handle and compensate for what the 2 TIE fighters could not. So that's interesting that they're bringing in Special Force TIE fighters. And we'll get to this.
Kill it.
Alright. Here's a better scene at Kylo Ren here. We see him in his new outfit here. Along with this. And it looks like it's running down to the nape of his neck. So it's going down, and then wherever else it goes. This might be a tattoo showing his allegiance to the Sith or to Snoke. I say Sith, but we don't know yet. Looks alright.
Alright.
Now, he was attacking the Radis. right here's the bridge of the Radis with Kylo's mom, General Leia. And now, what I think is, after the failure with the Praetorian Guards, I think he gets mad that he's not fully submerged in the dark side. That he cannot conjure up enough hate and power to face them. So what he probably goes and does is he goes after his mom, hoping to kill her and thus amplify his rage, his sorrow, his sadness, like what Vader kind of did, where he turned his sadness and sorrow into a source of fuel, of hatred of himself to fuel his dark side. And that might be how, and this could work both ways. I am still an advocate believer that Kylo is redeemable, and I believe he will be redeemed in this movie. This can work two ways if he kills his mom, which, judging by this, it's probably going to happen. For the number one reason is because, well, Carrie Fisher passed away in last year. So, and Disney has no plans of digitally recreating her character or anything like that as of this moment. And if she dies, hold on. Battlefront 2 is installing. Cool. Alright. So if Kylo kills his mother. No, wait. What was that going about? Yeah. Anyway, if Kylo kills his mom, that would be an end to Leia's story. And thus getting rid of the character. But anyway, this can work one of two ways. I believe in the end, Rey and Kylo, along with Luke, will be the good guys at the end. I think Kylo is redeemable. I just think he's misguided. And this can work, if he kills his mom, it works two ways. Either he goes more submissive into the dark side, or he realizes what his goal for power has gotten him, and he turns away from that and towards the light. So, and we'll get into that here soon. Alright, there's another good angle. Now that I look at it, it's not really a tattoo. More of, I don't know. Looks like a bandage almost. But, I don't know. Maybe it matches up with the scar, but I'm just not sure about it. Now, I'm going to do one thing here. I don't know if it's the lighting in the scene or whatever, but Kylo here, he looks either that he's upset, but he looks kind of drained. He doesn't look, I wouldn't say healthy, but very mute, like he looks pale here, very, his eyes, and that's kind of a dark side thing, and you get puffy under the eyes when you cry and stuff like that. But that we'll go into that here soon. But this just doesn't. I don't know. It could just be lighting, but it looks like he's not all there.
Become what you were meant to be.
Okay, so we have here Kylo or something, and I believe this is Kylo's TIE Fighter, has a lock on the Radis's bridge. So I think that points more credence to him killing Leia. And here's this too. Here we see he's like, can I really do this? But then again, I think he does. I think that's what's going to happen. Alright, this is interesting. Now, when I said that... Alright. This can be one of two places. This can be, just judging by the size of this place, this can either be crate, or it could be Octu. The coloration, the darker colors and the reds point to it being crate, and that's what it is. However, the Falcon and the two TIE fighters there's a picture and Topps trading cards, which I've been collecting, of the Last Jedi sets. There's a card called Flight of the Falcon. And in that we see the Millennium Falcon trying to run from two TIE fighters. I believe that's on Octu. And these are Kyber crystals. So... and that would make sense. If the Jedi are based on Octu, that's where the first temple was, in the new canon, that would make sense. If they kind of go into an island or whatever, they have Kyber crystals. Yet on Crate, this also makes sense. If Kylo enters with those stormtroopers, he might be going to Crate to find a Kyber crystal for a lightsaber. It might be for that new saber. And again, I'm speculating that's a new lightsaber that Kylo built. So, and that might be it as well. So it could be either or. So it's interesting. Here we see Chewbacca, and I don't think Peter Mayhew is playing him this time. And I can really tell a difference in Chewbacca with the eyes. And you can tell that in the facial movements, that it is not Peter Mayhew. And now that I've told you this, you guys will not be able to unsee it. So if you saw there, it just doesn't look like Chewbacca's movements. At least not from what I'm used to. Hold on. And I don't believe that's from the cave scene. I believe that's probably while they're waiting for Rey or something. Alright, those are transport ships. Something just blew it up. Oh, I know what did it. Okay. That... I believe right there. There's two things this could be. One, it is that Dreadnought, the Mandator 4 class Dreadnought, or it could be the Supremacy. And judging by the way that this is wedge shaped like this, it's out more. I'm believing this is the Supremacy right here. So it's firing a shot, and it basically destroys one of those transport ships in one shot. And that just shows how powerful that is. Alright. And here we are. There's that scene with Poe with his T-70 X-Wing. with his modified booster. And this green light, I don't know. Okay, there's a Mandator 4 right here. I don't really like the look of the Mandator 4. It's very flat. It's a very flat ship. And it's not angular, it's just a triangle to me. Recording. Are you happy now? Are you happy? Anyway, so dumbass brother. Alright. So Poe's just taking on the Dreadnought. Alright, this is an interesting scene. And nothing there really with Poe. First off, that looks like a Lambda class shuttle. Smaller wings, but it's a shuttle, it looks like right there. You can see the top wing and the kind of a stretched cylindrical body. And we see Phasma here. Looks like an explosion in it looks like a hangar. So Finn undercover scene. I think this would happen. I think he goes undercover on. This might be the Mandator 4 that he goes undercover on, or something around those lines. And this will be, to me, this will be kind of an interesting fight. And again, nothing told us about this in the pre-releases or the leaks, that Phasma and Rey, Phasma and Finn would fight. Maybe there's one leak, but people haven't covered it that much. And it looks like, hold on, the chromium armor Phasma's using is absorbing that electricity. So, yeah. This might not be good for Phasma here. Alright. There is a Resurgent class Star Destroyer. A lot of the TIE Fighters and 3 Resistance Bombers, along with the Mandator 4. Now this looks like the Mandator is pretty beat up by this point. And I believe that we'll see the Mandator at the beginning of the film with, this is probably the early part of the film, with, we're going to see the First Order going to attack Dakar. The Rebel base in, not Rebel, the Resistance base in Force Awakens. So, if that picks up right after Force Awakens ends, that's what we're going to see this. They're probably going to use this to try and bombard the planet. They probably brought this along hoping to, if they move fast enough, they can quickly wipe out the Resistance by an orbital bombardment with this thing. So that is an interesting thing. BB-8 looks like he was EMP'd, I guess you could say. Warning, remember to use a specific astromech for this ship.
Is not going to go.
Alright, this is interesting. I think here Luke is talking to Rey. I think this is the scene where he's like, please, if you, I think Rey attacks Luke here, and he's like, this is not going to go well. I think he's talking about one of two things. Either he's talking about attacking him, it won't go well for her, or going well as in her trying to leave. And he's probably trying to keep her there and make sure nothing happens. And another thing is, and this was seen, that the Knights of Ren would go to Octu and go after Luke and Rey. And by looking at this trailer, nothing is really pointed to that. But there was Rain, and he was wearing this outfit, and there were the Knights of Ren spotted, or something like that, with him on set. So this could be that scene, and he's talking to Rey, and maybe they like touch down or something on the planet, and Kylo's like, we're gonna go get him, and Luke's like talking to Rey, and he's like, this is not gonna go well. This could also be Luke, if he doesn't have a dry place to sleep, he might just sleep out in the rain. I don't know. This scene is just very mysterious for what it is. It could be a lot of things. Alright, this is obviously the next Resistance base on Crate. And here we see Disney's attempt to sell merchandise, right here. And this was not needed in the movie, in the trailer at all. I don't know what purpose this serves, but yeah, I think this is just to move merchandise. However, this proves cadence, just looking at it, their crystalline. This proves credence to that the Falcon is being pursued by 2 TIE fighters, and the crystals are in here. So, in a mountain on Crate. This can be probably misinterpreted as Luke, but this is Leia.
The way you think.
And she looks kind of sad. I don't know what to think about this scene. Honestly, I think how this would play in, Leia probably goes and leaves the planet for safety, because they're trying to probably get her out of, once the First Order attacks, they're probably trying to get her out of there. That, or she's going to go to Canto Bight, or something like that, and try to recruit others on the Raddus. And I think that is when we'll see the Mega Star Destroyer come out of hyperspace. Kylo Ren will lead them and lead the fighter squadrons. He will probably kill Leia in them and destroy the Raddus. And I think that goes back to hold on. Right there, and then it goes back to this. I think these are life pods. These are lifeboats for the Raddus. I'm looking at how they are shaped here. These look like they could just be jettisoned off of a Mon Cal ship pretty easily. If you look at all the bumps and stuff on a Mon Calamar ship, this looks like it would just be able to lift off and go. So, I think that gets destroyed. Leia dies on the bridge, and the Resistance tries to go to escape. from the Star Destroyer here, the Mega Class. And here we are. Alright, we see Rey diving underwater. This could be a lot of things. But is there anything interesting here? There's a skull, it looks like. I see a lot of teeth and like holes there and there. And yeah, that looks like a skull right there. Apparently there's going to be a fight scene with a sea monster or something around those lines. Rey, I don't know what they're going to do about what this is all about. I think this is when he says to probably go find your own path, or I'm coming with you, or something along those lines, where Luke, I think, will decide I can't just stay on this island. I'm coming along. The galaxy needs me again. We see Finn undercover here. Alright, this goes back to that whole hangar bay scene at the beginning of the trailer. We see all these walkers and stuff again, everything like that. So, I believe by just looking at this is on the Mega Class Star Destroyer. Super Star Destroyer. Alright, there's a better look at the heads of the ATM-6 and the Upsilon class again. We see that red sand being kicked up. Okay, we see that getting blown up. These skippers right there. Alright, this is an interesting scene. So, in promotional material, and I'm going to look this up. Okay, Supreme Leader Snoke. We see here, or maybe, hold on. That's what he looked like in The Force Awakens, for the most part. But we see here, well, this image does a lot better justice. I think this is how, and this is a lot of theories, he wears a black Kyber ring. So, from there, apparently it can do a lot of stuff. I don't fully believe that. We're going to have to wait and see. I just think he's a very powerful Force user. Now, this comes from the Topps trading card. I have a physical version of that. Right here, this is like a Snoke more towards The Force Awakens. But the rest of the card art from the series is from The Last Jedi. So what we're seeing here is, I think Snoke, this is a lot of theories, is he's going to use the Force power known as Drain Life. Which I'm just going to pull up here. Force Drain. So, it, Dark Healing, sometimes known. I think this is going to be brought into the canon with the movie. Because we see here, Snoke does not have any eyebrows. And this is a good indication here. And here we see eyebrows. And that one mask, which people thought, oh, this isn't a real Star Wars item for Halloween. Snoke mask. And this, I think, has been all over the internet. Yeah, this. I think a lot of people thought this was fake. Hold on. Wait. No, it was this one. Because it looked so weird. Because Snoke does not have eyebrows. But yet, Yeah, say he doesn't have eyebrows, but yet this trailer here shows that he does. So that is very interesting to me. He also has lost a lot right here. Then again, it could be a snarl, which, again, looks like it could be. But I think right here, Snoke is using... He's going to be using Kylo. And this was kind of hinted at in the first, in The Force Awakens. And a lot of people have quoted this, including Star Wars Theory and Star Wars Explained, that Snoke is just using Kylo for his power. After he's done with Kylo, he will crush him. And I believe that's what we see with Kylo. He's flushed in the face while flying his TIE fighter. And I believe that's why. That's because the Mega Star Destroyer, he's just done training with Snoke and with them. I believe Snoke has used that force power on him. He's drained some aspects of his life force from him to heal himself. And we see that here. We really can see a difference here. So it's very interesting. And a lot of leaks have told us that Snoke is an ancient Sith. I don't know about that. I honestly don't know how that could be or like that. But I don't know. It's weird. I don't have any Snoke theories or anything. But he will be using Drain Life. I honestly believe that. I will probably bet 90%, 98% that he'll be using that force power to regenerate himself, to make himself all powerful again. So we'll see in the next shot here. Right there. We see right here kind of in agony. And we see Snoke on his throne, on his high horse, surrounded by his Praetorian guards. Snoke is obviously using Drain Life or something like that. Because if we go here, look. I think that's what he's doing. He's ripping the life force and all the energy he can out of these force users. Because they are a danger and a threat to his power. And if he can revitalize himself and kill the Jedi by doing only one thing, he's going to do it. So that's what he's doing. Which this was a surprise to see in the trailer. I didn't think that Rey would confront Snoke in the film. I honestly didn't. I thought it'd be kind of like Empire, where we'd see Rey and Kylo duel, and Snoke would be a bigger thing later, which he probably will be in 9, if what I'm predicting is true. But no, this was just a shock to see in the trailer, though. So, very interesting.
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Alright. Now, I think, and this is a big thing here, he no longer has the bandage on him. He looks healthy again. There's fire and everything. But he doesn't look angry at Rey. how he probably would be. If I was Kylo, I'd be mad that she beat me, and he was mad at her in The Force Awakens. Now, I think Kylo will have a change of heart. We see here, this is the new outfit too. You can take a look there. I believe this will happen at the end of the movie. He will probably save Rey from Snoke. Him and Luke will try and save Rey, or something around those lines, and he will be redeemed in this movie. By the end, he will be redeemed. I'm calling it now. You can call me crazy, you can do anything you want. But in the final movie, I think in 9, it will be, because we now have Kylo and we have Rey, and if Luke survives this movie, which I believe he will, I don't think he'll get too much involved. We have 3 people against Snoke. 3 Force users against Snoke. And the whole premise of 9 was, well, this movie's like, how do we defeat him? Number 9 is going to be, we are going to defeat him. So 9 will be, they're going to go against Snoke, all 3 of them. So that will be an interesting movie. Maybe Snoke back at full power again, or whatever. But I think Kylo is redeemed. And I think that would make for a nice twist at the end. And they told us at a big reveal will happen in 8. And I think this is going to be the reveal, is that Kylo is going to turn to the light. That, or Kylo is been working undercover for the Resistance. One of the 2 things. That he's been trying to defeat Snoke on his own. So, this is going to be interesting. Alright. And a lot of people are, like, Nerdist, are like, oh, Rey's going to go to the dark side and everything like that, and a lot of things. No. I don't think that at all. Just by seeing the trailer, it's like Snoke has done that to Rey. Rey, so far, is infallible. In that way, she cannot be turned. She is purely light. As is Snoke is purely dark by this point. So far in Snoke, I see no good aspects in him. He's not used any kind of good force powers. We've only seen him use 1 force power though, and that is Drain Life in this trailer. But I think Kylo reaching his hand out is like, do you forgive me? And I will teach you. And I'm sorry. And another thing that leads credence to this is he no longer has the thing on him. Right here. And that could be multiple things, but it's not there anymore. So, again, this is like the ending scene of the movie. Everything's on fire, I think. That will lead up to 9. Where it's, he holds out his hand and he's like, I'm joining you guys. I'm done. So, because I look at his eyes, he's not conflicted. He's sure of himself. Alright, and I've already got my tickets. I got my tickets at around like 9 o'clock, so seeing that on actually the 14th at 7 o'clock. So I'm going to be seeing it a day early. And when that happens, I'll probably post to this and let you guys know. But anyway, that's what I think of all this. I don't think this is nothing too bad. Also, this could be that he's showing that he's turning away from Vader right here. They smashing the helmet. But, yeah. So, if you guys want to leave comments or what you think is going to happen in this movie, please do. But thing is, we've got no leaks that say that Kylo's going to turn back to light. And honestly, I think that is actually plausible. Again, I'm going to just harp on this for another minute. It's plausible because I can see Disney and Lucasfilm going to be hush-hush about this, only telling a very select few people. Probably only known among the actors and the directors. That's it. So, that's why we probably never saw anything in leaks or anything of the sort. Is because they are keeping that a closed secret. Alright guys, thanks for watching this breakdown and analysis of the Star Wars The Force Awakens trailer. And I hope you guys have a good day, night, or whatever time it is. I'm Game Brain Evan, and I will see you next time.